Welcome back to Rubbin Minds. Before we went on the break, we were talking about the new year and how we can set resolutions that will last up until December and not just, going with the rush of January and then it fizzles out, in the middle of the year. And we cannot have a successful 2025 or a successful society without having a secure society. And one of the biggest challenges that is still embattling Nigeria and Nigerians is the issue of security. According to the MBS, in 2024 alone, from the survey that they made, about 2.2 trillion naira was paid as ransom to kidnappers in just 2024 alone. I'm sure we must have heard the cases in Kebbi as at May 2024, the kidnapping of the school children. April and June, we still have a high rise of banditry and attacks on farmers in Zamfara State. February and May, there were disruptions to northern trade routes and, so many security reports here and there. And we're here to discuss the key factors that will shape 2025 when it comes to securing Nigeria. And with me in the studio, I have Osage Diskin, Dr. Osage Dixon, a security expert. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Daniel.
Good to see you. You look good.
2025, dressing good odds.
Thank you. This is an issue that governments upon government have been trying to solve. Exactly. Dispensation upon dispensation, every single political campaign, security is one of the key priorities, that they campaign with, and then people come into power, and it seems like not much has changed. So first, how would you analyze the security situation of Nigeria in 2024, and what should we look forward to in 2025? A
fantastic question, Daniel. Congratulations. Happy New Year, Nigerians. You see, we're in a country, driven by high speed of insecurity, and it's so sad that we are here today. But the 2019 National Security Strategy that was signed by General Muhammadu Buhari, I think is due for assessment. Because when you roll out a strategy, what you do, you need to review the strategy, carry out an assessment of what went wrong and what went right, and how to improve on your strategy. That strategy covers the national security threat, Chapter 3. Chapter 4 also covers protecting Nigerians and our sovereignty. Now, if you want to analyze the rate of security, you need to go by the rate of incidents. Salabot Pius, the founder of modern day policing, said the only way you can assess the best, the effectiveness of policing, that could be the military, the police, the army, is the absence of crime. So if you want to ask me to assess the military, I would say they are doing so well for putting their life on the line. First of all, we need to appreciate them for putting their life to protect the territorial integrity of Nigeria. But last year, the Nigerian government and the Nigerian military did well in the area of arrest. About 12,000 terrorists were arrested, 16,000 surrendered, 10,000 were eliminated by the military. Now, the killings of terrorism is not a sign of victory. You can't classify victory by the killings of terrorists because every day a potential terrorist is being born. Now, how do you classify victory? The absence of crime and the presence of peace. So is there peace in most of the northern area? The answer is no. Negative peace? No. Yes, negative peace in some area. In Lagos here we experience a positive peace, and thanks to the security design in Lagos State. So I think the military did so well. Last year was so good because from 2018, 2017, 2016, if you look at the Global Terrorism Index, we're doing so badly in the Global Terrorism Index, and it's affecting some investors from international community to come and invest in Nigeria.
Speaking about investments, I was about to get into how security is affecting businesses. Beyond the security issues, there are other factors. In 2024 we saw a high rise in multinationals leaving the country.
Okay.
So can you tell us in depth how it really affects businesses?
The kidnap market is rising. The arrest of Evans, they classify him as the billionaire kidnappers, and most of these armed robbers we have in our territory looked into the way in and assess the advantage of kidnapping, and I discovered that kidnapping have a low risk compared to robbery. In robbery, you can put your life on the line and you can be taken out by the government security forces. But in kidnapping, you just need to lay siege, carry out surveillance against your target or your victim, and you get your victim and start demanding for 50 million, 100 million, as if you give them those money to keep the money to keep for you. So now the area of kidnapping is taking the boom, and that is the fear whereby most of these international investors are departing our country, Nigeria. But I think the Nigerian government is trying to mitigate mitigate that. And over the months, I've seen that kidnapping have been mitigated a little bit. But the report from the NBS, 2 trillion naira, that's, that money is too much to go into the kidnap market. So for us to succeed in the area of managing this kidnapping area is that the Nigerian government needs to start looking at our criminal justice system and ensuring that punishment is awarded swiftly to most of these criminals. Because sometimes these guys, when they go to court, I think they find refuge in the prison, or they find refuge in our criminal justice system. But if we have swift punishment for these guys to let them know that Nigeria is a no-nonsense state in the area of kidnapping, then you and I will be able to move around freely without being intimidated, coerced, or be abused by this unnecessary human being. So we should start looking at punishment. I don't know, the courts reserve the right to award punishment for kidnapping.
Okay, another issue that makes me sad every single time I talk about it is food insecurity.
Food insecurity.
Because we've seen a big rise in the cost of living as a result of how high the food is, as a result of inflation, etc. And one of the key issues is the fact that farmers cannot transport their goods to where it is needed as a result of security. How can we make our roads safe for the farmers to transport their food?
Fantastic question, Hero Daniels. You see, when we talk about security, it's holistic in nature, multidimensional approach. Most people think if you want to address security issues, it's military-centric. It's not military-centric. It's both population-centric. You and I have a role to play. You are playing a role now in the area of security, because questions you're asking are necessary questions that will assist the Nigerian government and Nigerian military to put in strategies in place to ensure that Nigeria lives in a state of peace. Now, coming to food insecurity, why most of these guys are unable to go to farm is because of the threat from these criminal elements, the herders-farmer clashes, the terrorists, and whatever the case may be. Now, we have a problem here. Our space, we have an ungoverned space in Nigeria. If you look at our borderline area, the threat matrix from that area is very, very high. Now, when you keep on arresting most of these criminals, how do you protect our national borders? Because when you want to succeed in security, you need to have a closure. Now, when you have a closure, what next do? You need to look at the technology factors, the human factors, and the process factors. If the Nigerian government want to get this right, they should invest more in technology. Technology is beautiful, Daniels, in the sense that if you want to send 200 soldiers to go and check enemy suspected positions, maybe on their way going, they come under attack. But when you send in drones to go and check enemy suspected position, the drones go in, fetch in the enemy suspected position, then revert back to the base and say, hey, this enemy area, what do we do? Then the military can go in, or the security agent can go in and decimate. Then also in our area, in the farmland areas and whatever the case may be, we should project high-powered military patrol system. And also, first of all, before you can attack this, you need to look at crime mapping analysis. Where are we experiencing this food insecurity from? Lagos, no. Kaduna, yes. Maiduguri, yes. Borno, yes. Other parts of the country, yes. Crime mapping analysis. So I've been carrying out this crime mapping analysis. Then you have to project mitigation factors. That is where we need to start looking at, demobilization and also demoralizing of these criminal elements. Because I suggested some while ago that for us to curtail these criminal activities, 4 factors have to play. The delink strategy, the military should start looking at the linking strategy of this terrorist group, demobilizing strategy, which is very important. Like 12,000 guys were arrested. That's demobilization strategy in the area of the military. Kudos. 16,000 surrendered. Very good. That's demobilization and demoralizing strategy. So when we start looking into this multidimensional strategy, I tell you, this issue will be mitigated, and our farmers will be able to go to farm.
I like the fact that you talked about technology. You made reference to using drones to check out,
enemy areas.
Speaking of technology, we've now seen even the bandits using technology. There were viral videos as at last year of bandits flaunting cash that they made from kidnapping on a platform like TikTok. So how hard is it for the security agents to actually track these bandits? Some of them were even giving out cash live on TikTok. So how hard is it for the military personnel to actually use technology and track down the IP addresses of these people? Because I'm sure they uploaded it from a location. And for you to upload something on your mobile device, there definitely has to be an IP address. How hard is it?
It's not hard. It's not hard, very easy. It's just that I think one or two issues somewhere, or maybe lack of coordination. You know, I talked about multi-dimensional approach. The intelligence have a role to play, the military intelligence. The DSS, they have a role to play in this area as well, you know, go out into the enemy's area, go into the dark network, the enemy's dark network, and, you know, fetch out how their employment methodology first, and also look at this area of TikTok and the Facebook area, whereby most of these guys goes there and flaunt in cash. Because we need to understand something, that if they use this platform, you know, to spread their own propaganda, it's going to be a big mess to the Nigerian state and to the Nigerian military. It's going to cause a lot of havoc. So for me, what I had expected by now, I thought that the Nigerian government, or maybe the DSS, must or would have arrested these guys that are flaunting cash on on TikTok, because they are traceable. Whatever the case may be, you can, you know, get to TikTok and say, hey, we need the address of these people. You need to give us. I do investigation. I've written to Facebook. I've written to YouTube. I've done a lot of investigation, and I know the results I got from these guys. So it's something that is very easy to do, and I think the Nigerian military, it's not the duty of the Nigerian military, I think the intelligence area, maybe the DIA, the NIA, or the DSS. So the National Security Advisor should try and review the 2019 security strategy, which is due for review. Then most of these elements of threats should be captured, so that we'll be able to treat this threat as it comes. You know, we're suffering from societal threats, Hero Daniels. You can't travel from here to Edo State. When I was going for my mother's burial, I couldn't travel by road because of the road network. So if we're in our own country and some percentage of Nigeria, I don't think they're up to 1%, the people that are messing up with the territorial integrity of this great nation. So we should declare a state of war against these guys and stop this friendly match we're playing with them.
I like the fact that you said that they're not up to 1%, right? And there have been several school of thoughts. You know, the social media is a space where you get a lot of theories. So some people have alleged that some people that are in prime positions of power are benefiting, allegedly from insecurity. How true is this assertion?
Well, I would not say it's true, but for me, I think we need to start looking at the United Arab Emirates sometime a few years ago sent in some list of suspected sponsors of this terrorist group. Hero Daniel, if the Nigerian government are not ready to deal with this thing, they should tell us they're not ready to deal with this criminal threat bedeviling Nigeria, our country. Because I will tell you, if we keep on killing most of these terrorist guys, we will kill them to eternity. You and I see what the state of Israel is doing to his enemy commanders. Let's go after the commanders of these guys. Let's go after the sponsors of these guys. If you keep on killing these guys, they employ you, kill, you will keep on killing. And that's not a sign of victory. So when you go after their commanders, their key commanders, go after their sponsors, look into their financial aspect of terrorism, which is called resourcing. We need to start looking at the resourcing aspect of the this approach I earlier proposed, so that when you use one or two persons as a scapegoat, some people will understand that, hey, Nigeria is truly ready to deal with most of these guys. Then coming to your questions, that if one or two people are benefiting, for me, I will not say yes, I will not say no, but I strongly believe one or two persons are compromising the national security of this great nation, because 15 years on, we're battling Boko Haram. 15 years on, we have this enemy at our doorstep. Hero, I don't think you allow mosquito to be your doorstep for 15 years. You take them out. Not to talk about enemies disturbing this great nation and also putting our name in the negative space, you know, in the international limelight. So for me, I will advise that the Nigerian government should start looking at, you know, the internal threats. Because if you look, even in some corporate organizations, I've been able to carry out investigation. One of the most dangerous threat bedeviling companies in Nigeria is internal threats. And that is the truth. External threat, 2, 3, 5, 10%. But internal threat, about 90%. So I strongly believe that there are one or two internal persons or highly placed persons that are compromising the success of the Nigerian military, compromising the success of the Nigerian government. How do you fetch them out? Use somebody as an example, then I tell you, Nigeria is ready to deal with this bit of insecurity.
All right. Finally, I would like to talk about a very sensitive issue. Especially one that concerns the southeastern part of this country. Every Monday, there's a sit-at-home order that, you know, people cannot go to their businesses in peace. If you're found trading on a Monday in the southeast, you're in trouble. You know, and of course, it's no longer news that the reason why the sit-at-home order is existing is because of the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu. So, what do you make of this entire situation?
Foundation. You know, most times when an incident happens, you need to look at the root cause analysis of what transpired, not what is happening. Because if you don't look at the foundation of that incident, you'll not be able to profile mitigation factors or profile solutions. Now, what went wrong in the Southeast was mismanagement of our military. And that is the same issue that transpired in Lekki Tollgate 2020. And to date, every 20th of December, you see our security agents in Lekki Tollgate trying to forestall any behaviors, unnecessary behaviors from our people because they created the mess. You know, when you want to manage the public, ensure that the military must always be the last resort. Don't send in the military as a first resort. You understand? Because, you know, our soldiers are brave, our military are tough guys, and, you know, they can just go and just scatter everything, you know. So for me, I think what went wrong in the Niger Delta issue, the Southeast, was that it was not well managed by the Buhari administration. It wasn't technical about it. What was their plea? What was their request? Do they want to have their own country? Okay, come, let us talk. Let's reason together. Were they carrying out flags and banners? Yes, okay, come, let's talk. What's the problem? See, let me tell you something. When you pull trigger as first resort, be prepared to continue pulling that trigger till eternity. So that is why you must always ensure that the pulling of trigger must be the last resort. Carry out, you know, the phase 1 of negotiation, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. If things goes bad, then you can project the military as last resort. But here we projected the military as first resort. So by this Monday issue, I think the Nigerian government should start looking at negotiation. I don't know what they are doing right now with Nnamdi Kanu and other persons. Samuel Ekpa, I understand he's been arrested and you know, detained. That's a good one from the Finnish government, even though they were so slow about that. So the Southeast, I think the Nigerian government should call the leaders of Southeast together. It's a beautiful place. Nigeria is a beautiful people. Let's not defeat ourselves. I've been in the Southeast. I've been in the North. I've been here in Lagos. The Yoruba people are great people. The Igbo guys are great people. The Hausas are great people. So we need to identify those telling us lies, those lying to us that, hey, this tribe, because during election, you know, Daniel, you start seeing most of these tantrums being thrown around. Your mother is an Igbo, your father is a Yoruba. You know, we should stop this mess and understand that Nigeria is built under an umbrella. So if we understand the integrity of this great nation and respect, have value for human life, you know, in every territory of this great country, we will respect them. So for me, I call on the Southeast people, you know, to embrace peace, you know, and also the Nigerian government should start looking at discussing with Nnamdi Kanu and understanding what the problem is. The Nigerian government should also take a blame, then also resolve this issue amicably. Then you and I can be able to move around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sundays, so that Nigeria will be blessed. And I believe Nigeria will be great again.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dixon Asaji. You've been very profound. Thank you for your insights.
Thank you.
And I wish you a happy new year.
I wish you a happy new year too.
Don't just stand there teasing me. Now it's